Welcome to class. So today we are going to focus on sacrifice. All right. I am in this stage of my life where I am focused primarily on allowing myself to profit from my problems. And what this means is anything that I encounter, that I go through, that could be traumatic or an obstacle or a piece of contrast, negative, anything that could be looked at as if it's not benefiting me. I want to allow it to benefit me. I want to profit from the bullcrap in my life, the tragedies in my life, the dark areas of my life, the negativity in my life. I want it all to pay off. Too many times, years go by. After you turn 18, time just goes by so fast. So years go by, and then you look around and you're 25 and you're like, where did all that time go? Did I have fun during that time? And if I did have fun, what was it worth? Did I gain relationships? Do I still have those same relationships? Did I save any money? Do I still have any of that money? Have I built my material possessions? Do I still have the material possessions that I perhaps built? What's the payoff from me experiencing all of those years of ups and downs and ups and downs and ups and downs and ups and downs? Well, I got to a point in my life where I felt like everything that I have gone through can't be in vain. I refuse for it to go down into the books as being something in vain. I need those things to pay off for me. So I kept going throughout my journey, We have a whole course on how to profit from your problems. You know, everyday problems, specific problems, the bullcrap in our lives, the experiences in our lives. And one thing that I know for sure is that, for one, it's all perspective. Because what may seem like a problem to me may not be a problem to someone else. But I want to be able to see that for myself. It's all good and dandy for me to know that I'm looking at it a certain way, but if I'm looking at it that way and I can't see it any other way, then this is where I am. I am where I am, right? And with me being where I am, I want to allow myself to grow so that I can see this thing as a benefit. So I could profit from this thing. So it could be used as one of my tools. So I came across this quote from James Clear. He's the author of Atomic Habits. And the quote is, you overcome your outcome is a lagging measure of your habits. Your outcome is a lagging measure of your habits. The results that you're getting is a downplay of your habits. So when I think of outcome, I think of results. When I think of lagging, I think of dragging, slow, right? And measure, when I think of the word measure, I didn't even think I included that. When I think of the word measure, I think of scalable, like being able to tell where it is. And a habit, of course, is something that you do over and over and over and over. Your subconscious mind picks up on it. You no longer have to consciously think about doing it. Your subconscious mind puts it in action. So let me restate the quote. Your outcome is a lagging measure of your habits. Okay? So your results are a slow measurement of the things you've done over and over and over again. So your results is a slow measurement of the things you've done over and over again. So what this tells me is, when I think about it, it tells me that you're going to do something over and over and over again. It's going to take time. Because remember the word lagging. You do this thing over and over and over again, and it's going to take time. It will happen slowly, but it's going to produce some results. Okay, let me say that again. A habit is something you do over and over and over and over and over and over again. And in due time, it's going to take some time, but in due time, you're going to get some results. Right? Can we all resonate with that? Are we all on the same wavelength that you do something over and over and over and over and over again, and eventually it will leave a result? So I started thinking about this. My other thought that I've been thinking for a while has to deal with sacrifice, right? And how we, most of the time, are put in a place to sacrifice certain things. We sacrifice for our kids. We sacrifice for our jobs, for our careers, our spouses. We sacrifice for everything. And we say, okay, I'm going to do this. I really don't want to do this, but I'm going to do this. It's going to set me out of my way a little bit because I know it will be for the greater good of my spouse, the greater good of my income, the greater good of my home, the greater good of my children, the greater good of my knowledge. We do these things that are uncomfortable, that we don't want to do, because we know it will be for the greater good of something. So therefore, that is a sacrifice. A sacrifice, and that is us sacrificing on a regular basis. In the biblical times, a sacrifice was giving up something to show your loyalty. This would be sacrificing your most valuable animal, giving up your most precious metal. This would be sacrificing your children, giving them over for the outcome, for a higher outcome, right? Giving it over to show your loyalty, giving this thing over to show that you are down. You are the ride or die, okay? So let's think about that. If we want something in our lives, and my whole teachings is based off of the idea of designing their perfect life. Designing, creating, and manifesting your perfect life. All of my teachings are devoted to that, to help you to design your perfect life. Okay? So we're designing our perfect lives, right? What we know for sure is that we're focusing on sacrifice. James Clear said, your outcome is a lagging measure of your habits. So we know for sure that if you do something over and over again, eventually, slowly but surely, it will produce results, right? We know what it is to sacrifice on a regular basis. We do it every day. Each of us sacrifice every day, especially the feminine energy. Sacrifices every day, okay? And we do this for the greater good. Remember, I teach on designing your dream life. Everything that you should do in your life should be for the greater good of you. So, too many times we feel like we are backed into a corner and we're forced to sacrifice, even if we don't want to. Not many of us, not all times, are we voluntarily sacrificing. Sometimes we sacrifice because we don't have any other damn choice. But what if we had the power to sacrifice for ourselves and call out what it is that we want to sacrifice? So today, I'm here to talk to you about your outcomes. What outcomes would you like? What are you willing to sacrifice in your life to obtain those outcomes? And what's the natural result that, because you are engaging with this sacrifice, will happen from it. See, I believe that all things are working out for you because man is the maker of his own reality. He makes up his own reality through his daily ideas and choices. The ideas that he thinks, the choices that he makes, through his daily decisions and thoughts, through the decisions that he makes and the thoughts that he has. Okay. Through his rituals and through his actions and rituals, by the things that he actually does and the things that he does on an ongoing basis so that they can become a habit, through his perspectives and perceptions, the way he sees things, in the way that his senses pick up on things, right? Through his beliefs and his knowledge. A belief is a practiced thought, through the thoughts that he continues to practice on an ongoing basis, and his knowledge, what he knows for sure. With stating all of those things, how can one activate all of those things and make them powerful? By having a goal, which is an outcome. So this is going to be quite fun. What we're going to do is, what I've done is I've split a piece of paper into 3 columns, right? The first column should be the outcome, aka the result, or aka the goal. What does the end product look like? Okay. The second column should be the sacrifice. What are you going to do in order to get that outcome? The third column should be the natural result because of the sacrifice. All right. So I believe that we should profit from our problems, that we have the power to pick how we are going to sacrifice, or what we're going to give up, what we are going to put on pause in order to get what we want, right? And not only should we be blessed, should we bless ourselves to receive what it is that we want, but we also should benefit in another way. So 2 measures of profiting, basically. We should profit from our goal being accomplished, our result coming into fruition. And secondly, we should profit from the results from the sacrifice. So when I think of a sacrifice, I don't think of that it has to be direct. It has to be a direct sacrifice. So that means that if you are deciding to work out 3 hours a day, that you should only be doing that to lose weight or get in shape. I think that if you are saying, I want this in my life and I'm willing to give up this, that you should be able to benefit twice from the immediate result that you get from the activity that you're doing, as well as what you want. So let's go ahead and put this into perspective. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to write down 7. I like the number 7, so we're going to go with 7. 7 outcomes. The way that you do this is ask yourself, what are 7 things that I actually really want? 7 things. What are 7 things that I really want? 7 things. That's it. Now, I know a lot of people have problems figuring out what they want because it's like so overwhelming and so broad, okay? So let me help you out. The way that I figure out what I want and to simplify it, especially if I am overwhelmed and I just, at the spur of the moment, can't really think about what it is that I want, I tap into my 10 dimensions of wellness. Now, the 10 dimensions of wellness are all the categories, the small categories, in your life that make up your world. This includes your social dimension, your spiritual dimension, your mental health dimension, your physical health dimension, your intellectual dimension, your material dimension, your creative dimension, your environmental dimension, your occupational dimension, and your financial dimension. So we cover your money and your job, your environment, where you live, where you eat, where you sleep, where you work, your city and your state. We tap into the creative aspect of you. We tap into your mental health, your mental well-being, as well as your physical well-being. Your intellectual side, which means the side where you learn and expand and evolve yourself, as well as your spiritual side, the side that taps into the God power, and your social side, how you interact and deal with others. So if you can't figure out what it is that you want, you can say, what am I lacking in my social dimension? Is there anything lacking? How are my relationships? Okay, that might be fine. Spiritually, am I lacking anything spiritual? Oh, I need a better relationship with God. Oh, I need to develop a better relationship with myself. Okay. Oh, I need to go to church more often. Whatever it is for you in the spiritual realm. Physical health. Okay. Oh, I have high blood pressure. I have diabetes. I really want to get over that. I'm overweight. I really want to lose a lot of weight. So when you tap into these specific areas, it allows you to see, oh, okay, in this dimension of my world, there are some changes I need to make. Mental health. Oh, I'm really having mental blockage. I need to go see a therapist. Okay. Intellectual. I'm not learning anything. I really want to learn anything. Maybe my goal is to take a class, something that I've been meaning to do in that dimension, as well as material. Oh, I really want this specific material thing. Okay. Creativity, the creative dimension. Oh, I remember when I used to dance. Oh, I remember when I used to sing. Oh, I remember when I used to play the saxophone. I really desire to get back into that. That could perhaps be something that you want. Your environment, where you live, where you eat, where you sleep, where you work. I am in a pretty good environment in my life, okay? Or your occupation, your job. I really hate my job. So my desired outcome would be to find a new profession, to find a new company to work for, or to even establish my own company. Your finances. Are your finances good or not? By tapping into those 10 dimensions of wellness, you're able to simply come up with at least 7 outcomes that you want to see happen in your life. The next column is your sacrifice. Now, when it comes down to your sacrifice, because you are choosing your sacrifice, it should be something that's going to benefit you in the long run. That's the first qualification of a sacrifice. It should be something that makes you better, because everything is supposed to work out for you. Okay, yeah. So let me clue you in to the 4 qualifications of a sacrifice. All right. So a sacrifice should be, it should make you better in the long term. Long-term gratification, it should make you a better person. Period. Your sacrifice should make you a better person. Number 2, it should make you feel good in the short term. So short-term gratification, this thing that you do should make you feel good. So 2 qualifications so far. It should long-term make you a better person. Short-term, it should make you feel good right now, right? So you're already benefiting from this. Number 3, it should be inspiring to others. You don't have to tell anybody that you're doing this particular thing, but if they see you doing this particular thing, it should make them say, wow, I want to do that too. Okay? And the 4th qualification of a sacrifice is it should be profitable. This whole idea is about profiting from your problems. So if we look at a sacrifice can be looked at as a problem, because it's not something that's going to come easy. It's something that's going to be change. It's going to bring change in your world, which is choose happiness and never give excuses. So if you're choosing happiness and never giving excuses, this sacrifice should do all of that for you. It should bring you happiness. Okay? So those are the 4 qualifications for your sacrifice. Now, when you think about a sacrifice, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Does uh, cutting off the head of your oldest child come to your mind? Is that the first thing that comes to mind? Well, what I want you to think about is, what is going to stretch me? Ask yourself this. What's going to stretch me to make me the person that I ultimately want to be? What's going to stretch me to ultimately make me the person that I want to be? What do I have to do in order to become the person that I want to be? Maybe that person goes to bed at a certain time. Okay. Maybe that person wakes up at a certain time. Maybe that person lives in a certain neighborhood. Maybe that person socializes with specific people, certain people. Maybe that person has their hair or wears their hair in a certain way. Maybe that person eats or doesn't eat certain foods. Maybe that person is a part of a certain organization or attends a certain church. Maybe that person reads a certain amount of books. What is it that that person does that you know you should be doing, or you know you want to do, but you have yet to do it? Maybe that person is very disciplined and they show up the same place, the same time, every time. That person shows up the same place, the same time, every single time. What does that person have? What does your goal person have? Or what is it that they do that you believe that separates them from you or you from them? Those are the questions you're going to ask yourself. And you're going to come up with 7 responses. Some of the examples of responses that I came up with is a 4 a.m. workout. In order to be that 9-figure woman, I have to get used to a 4 a.m. workout. And I think this is a good place before you start coming up with your sacrifices, is to know what the ultimate goal is. See, I know my goal. I know why I'm here. They have a lot of time on their hands to do whatever it is that they want and to consume negativity as well, you know? So, since my example is I'm going to fast so that I can obtain financial freedom, naturally, I'm going to lose weight and reset my body. With all that being said, all the time that I would normally use eating, I'm going to be consuming financial freedom information so that I can become financially free. So during dinner time, while my family is eating dinner, I need to sit down and figure out, okay, how can I become financially free? Let me tap in. What books do I need to read in order to become financially free? What classes do I need to take in order to become financially free? What apps do I need to download in order to become financially free? What tasks do I need to consume in order to become financially free? What places do I need to go in order to become financially free? What environments do I need to introduce myself to in order to become financially free? So during the times that I would normally eat, the times that my fasting is active, really active, when other people around me are eating breakfast, are eating lunch, are eating dinner, I'm focused on financial freedom. So I'm just not wishing and hoping in the sky for financial freedom to just drop into my lap. I'm actually putting myself in the vicinity around these things to consume financial freedom information. Therefore, at the end of this, it won't end until it ends, but at the end of this, I will be closer, or I will have gained financial freedom in addition to the natural results that would come as a result of me fasting. Right? So let's go through another example just so you'll get it. The fourth column is the action that is going to take place during the time of you sacrificing, right? So the other sacrifice was, as an example, is the 4 a.m. workout. And what outcome do I want to have for the 4 a.m. workout? My outcome is I want to have at least 5,000 active social media followers who are active in my posts, on my videos, who are active communicating with me on a daily basis. 5,000 on all platforms. That is what my outcome is. Now, my natural result from waking up at 4 a.m., there are a ton of results, but I did write down I'll feel more organized, right? Now, what action am I going to take when I wake up at 4 a.m.? I'm sacrificing the 4 a.m. workout because I want 5,000 active social media followers. Well, when I wake up at 4 a.m., that is my time to go and get my 5,000 social media followers. Period. A set amount of time set to get them. That is the action that I would take during that time. So when you're sacrificing, it's important to have your why in your head so you know exactly what your focus is. They say where your attention goes, your energy flows. So if you focus on this long enough and you accomplish your goal, let's say, a month from now, I accomplish my 5,000 active social media followers on each platform, then I can continue my 4 a.m. workout, but I could transfer the outcome to something else. It would no longer be for the 5,000 social media followers. It could be for something completely different. So I just want to do a recap. My lessons are based upon designing the perfect life for you. The thought that I have is too many times we are forced to sacrifice for the bigger picture, for the bigger outcome. What if we chose to sacrifice on our own for a bigger outcome that we choose, right? We choose the sacrifice, we choose the outcome, all right? Now, because we're making all these choices, our why, the reason why we're doing these things is powerful because we're choosing the sacrifice and we're choosing the outcome, right? And there are going to be two ways that we benefit from this. We're going to benefit because of the outcome, and we're going to benefit from the natural results of the sacrifice, right? And the idea is that we put more attention to where we want it to go. We focus more. The whole idea is to focus more on that in which we desire versus focusing on any and everything else. So there are specific actions that we would do while we are actively sacrificing, right? Again, James Clear from Atomic Habits, he said, your outcome is a lagging measure of your habits. The longer and longer we continue doing these actions, the more they will become a habit, and eventually they will produce a result. And the result should be our desired outcome and not just something that was given to us. So this is the lesson for today. How to profit from your problems. You profit from your problems because you see what your problems are. See what you like, you don't like. See what you want, you don't want. And you set up a sacrifice behind it that's going to pay you in multiple ways. Because essentially, the idea is all things are working out for us. No matter how they look right now, no matter how they feel right now, they are working out for our benefit. And if we believe that, if we really, really believe that, we will get to see the results. It's all about profiting from your problems. My $1,000,000 excuses: how to profit from your problems. I am your manifestation coach, Keyonna Divine, and that is the end of the session.